I'm having some girlfriends over today, and we're gonna eat our lunch in the garden. So I'm starting with cold gazpacho soup. Next, how about a creamy fettuccine chicken salad? It's just perfect for a beautiful afternoon. Then I'm whipping up a luscious cherry vanilla ice cream dessert. Finally, a refreshing avocado goat cheese dip. Celebrate the sunshine today, y'all, and step outside, because today we're having a garden get-together. You know, I'm planning kind of a lighter menu for the girls because down here the girls just love their vegetables. So I'm gonna make a nice cold gazpacho soup. And there's really no wrong or right for this recipe. It's kind of whatever you like. I've got about 2 pounds of diced tomatoes. So I've got all my tomatoes chopped, except for one. So we'll finish chopping him up. Now you can take this any way you want to. In fact, I've probably never made 2 pots of gazpacho the very same. And you know what else? I've probably never said the word gazpacho the same way twice either. It's one of those words that, you know, kind of just really gets all caught up in my tongue. But anyway, I think y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm just gonna chop this up a little bit. And you can see up here to my right, I've got one of those in-bowl blenders because I wanna just have everything chopped up, maybe just half of it a little bit finer than the rest, so it'll produce that juice. So we got our bell peppers, and I'm chopping up 1/3 of a cup of yellow bell pepper, just like I did with the red and the green. And this is cilantro now. I'm chopping up about 1/3 of a cup. Now I'm gonna mince up 2 nice fat cloves of garlic. I've got a cucumber over here, and we're gonna take it, and you can seed it or not seed it. If you don't like the seeds in your cucumber, all you have to do is just run your spoon down the center, and that'll pull the seeds right out. Whether you seed or don't seed, that's up to you. I love the cucumber in this soup. It's just so fresh, and especially during the summer down here, because all of our vegetables are coming in so good and so fresh. Since I've seeded half of this, we'll use half seeded, and then the other half I'm gonna use with the seeds in it. Love cucumbers. All right, now let's add all of our vegetables to our tomatoes. And look at those colors. Just come alive in there. And lastly, I'm adding 1/2 cup of purple onion. And now we're gonna take our blender, and we're just gonna kind of blend this up. Now, some people like their soup pureed. I happen to like mine chunky. I love to see all the interesting components of the soup, and it's just pretty. So I'm just gonna use this blender because I don't wanna blend it to death. I just wanna break it down a little bit. Whoops! I think I'm getting vegetables slung all in my face. Now, see, that looks just about right. I love the way that looks. All right, so a little salt, a little pepper, a couple of tablespoons of a sherry vinegar. Give it a little kick. I'm gonna add about 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. All right. And here's an unusual ingredient that I'm gonna be adding. But I'm gonna throw in 1 cup of breadcrumbs. And that's the great thing about recipes and cooking. You can do them to suit your taste. But those breadcrumbs are gonna give it some substance to it. Now, the last ingredient I'm gonna add is a tomato water. All you have to do is drop you a couple of fresh tomatoes down into your food processor, puree them, and then strain them. So, that's ready to go in the fridge for about 4 to 8 hours. You want this to be nice and chilled. You know, the thing that makes this so good, especially during hot weather, is have this just ice cold. So good. I love what the cilantro does to it. It's delicious. I'm just dipping up my soup in a bell pepper. Makes a great little serving bowl. See how pretty that looks? Coming up, how about a creamy fettuccine chicken salad? Then I'm whipping up a luscious cherry vanilla ice cream dessert. And finally, a refreshing avocado goat cheese dip. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. Hey y'all, welcome back. I want to share with y'all a chicken fettuccine recipe that I just love. I've got 4 chicken breasts on my cookie sheet, and I've cut them into strips, and they almost look like a chicken tender. I'm just gonna drizzle it with some oil. Now I'm gonna just salt and pepper it. A little black pepper. All right. Now, I've got a couple of tablespoons of fresh chopped thyme, and I like that because it'll like hang on to our chicken good. So, a couple of tablespoons of fresh thyme. All right, now let's move our chicken on to the oven. We're gonna bake this in a 350-degree oven for about 15 minutes. So, there we go. Now, I said, you know, I thought our pasta looked done, and it is. I'm using a fresh, refrigerated fettuccine pasta. So, we'll pull that out and let that drain. We'll sit that back down in there. Give this a couple of shakes. And into a bowl that'll give me enough room to move the pasta around in the dressing. All right, now to make the dressing, so simple. I'm gonna use a 1/2 cup of green onions, 1/4 cup of basil, 1/4 cup of parsley, 2 cups of mayonnaise, and I'm just gonna eyeball that. And this pasta will soak up that mayonnaise. And I think that's very close to 2 cups. It'd be about a 1/2 container of this mayonnaise. And let me tell y'all where I first had this salad. I was invited up to Atlanta, our state capital, to a luncheon. And this is the dish that they served. After lunch, I thought it was just so good, I ran and found the chef. And I said, hey, I'm Paula Deen. I have a little restaurant in Savannah, Georgia. And I so thought your lunch was so good, and I just wanted to tell you. He said, well, I'm so glad that you liked it. Would you like the recipe? And I said, please, by all means. So we stood there in the hall, and he gave me the recipe. Now, to me, the the ingredient that made this so good was the fresh basil he put in it. And this just goes right into our dressing. So in that goes, and I got a few more green onion tops. I think I'm just gonna throw those in too. So there they go. All right. And I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of house seasoning. So that's got our salt, our pepper, and our garlic. Then I'm gonna add about that much of seasoning salt. And then I'm gonna add a little fresh lemon juice. You know, it's so funny. I don't even remember what that meeting was about. Can't tell you why I was up there. The only thing I remember is lunch. You know, it kind of reminds me of my school days. I always did very well at lunchtime. So a little lemon juice. I love it already. So I'm just gonna take our dressing and toss it over that pasta. I'm gonna just have to find the easiest way to do this, and I think I might start with the tongs and let that dressing kinda just melt into that fettuccine. Looks good, doesn't it? All right, well, I've got some more chicken that I had put in the oven earlier, so it should be cooked off. Yeah, it's ready. Oh, and that smells so good. So, you know what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pile this right back into our bowl. So we're just gonna take our strips. I'm gonna kind of just nestle them around our pasta just like that. But look how pretty this looks. It's a little different, you know, from like your normal chicken salad. Isn't that pretty? Look at that. Mmm. It's good enough. Coming up, my cherry vanilla ice cream dessert. And later, an easy and elegant avocado and goat cheese dip. I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all. Hey, y'all. I'm over here getting everything ready for our dessert. It's a cherry vanilla ice cream dessert. I have made a homemade cherry vanilla ice cream. Don't let that stop you with this dessert. You know, you can certainly go to the store and buy a very good quality cherry vanilla ice cream or any other flavor that you'd think you might want to substitute. Now, I've melted a stick of butter. We're gonna use 1 cup of all-purpose flour. A 1/4 of a cup of light brown sugar, and we wanna pack that down in there. And then the next ingredient that I'm gonna add that goes with cherries so well, and that's almonds. So 1/3 of a cup of slivered almonds, and I'm using the slivered, not the sliced. Okay, so when y'all came back, I was melting a stick of butter over here on the back stove. Now we're just gonna pour that butter over our flour, brown sugar, and almonds. And this is gonna make like almost a crumble. In fact, after we take it out of the oven, you're gonna look at it and you're gonna think, gosh, that looks like pralines almost. So we're just gonna mix that up together. Just coating those almonds in the flour and the brown sugar. Okie doke. And then we're just gonna drop this on the cookie sheet. Just like that. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, because what we're trying to achieve here is we're just trying to get crumbles. Very informal crumbles for our cherry vanilla ice cream. So no right or wrong here. Because I used a stick of butter, you know, we're not gonna need any more greasing of that pan. So you can see as this sits here, you know, it gets even thicker. And if you let it sit for a while, then you can just almost pick it up and just crumble it onto your cookie sheet. So we're gonna put this in the oven, y'all, on 350, and we're gonna let it bake for about 20 or 25 minutes. So in the oven this goes, and I'll show you what it looks like after it's cooked. Almost looks like a candy, doesn't it? What we're gonna do now is we're gonna take our caramel candy and we're gonna put about half of that down. Now we're gonna take our homemade cherry vanilla ice cream that I've allowed to soften just a little bit. This is so good. And we're just gonna scoop it out and put it all over those candy pieces. You can do this with any flavor of ice cream. Butter pecan would be real, real good. But the cherry vanilla is so terribly good. And it just goes with those almonds. Okay. So there we go. We'll smooth that out the best we can with the back of the spoon. All right. Now we're just gonna take the rest of our caramel pieces and sprinkle right on top of the ice cream. And then we're gonna put this back in the freezer and let it get hard. And then we're gonna slice it up. We're gonna serve it. And we're gonna sit back and we're gonna say, that's good. So all we have to do is wrap this with a plastic wrap, just like that. And we're gonna let this chill in the freezer for about 2 hours. Coming up, my easy and elegant avocado and goat cheese dip. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. Hey, welcome back. Now, while y'all are away, I scooped me up some of that ice cream, a homemade cherry vanilla ice cream dessert. Look at that. Now you can serve this on a plate or you can serve it in a little stemmed custard bowl. Either way. I can't tell you what that brown sugar and almond crunch does to this ice cream. You're gonna love it. That's so good, so easy. Well, come on down here. What I'm fixing to make now is the beginning of our party. This is an avocado and goat cheese dip served along with whole wheat pita chips. This is so easy. I'm gonna use 3 ripe avocados. couple of cloves of fresh garlic. In that goes. About 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And then I'm gonna stick in a 1/2 teaspoon of cumin. So there we go. So I'm just gonna take my little hand blender. I'm gonna add 3 tablespoons of lime, 4 ounces of a softened cream cheese, all right, the last ingredient we're gonna add is our goat cheese. And we're gonna put in 4 ounces of goat cheese. And let's transfer our avocado and goat cheese dip to our tray and serve this along with some pita chips. You can usually find these in your deli section. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? Let's see. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if y'all enjoyed this week's full episode Friday, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, friends.